Welcome everyone. I'm Lois. I am the General Manager of the Port Moody Arts Centre, and I'm very pleased to welcome you all here tonight. I'd like to introduce you to our President of our Board, Val Simons.
Hi everyone, welcome.
Also, we'd like to acknowledge the funding that we've received from the province of BC and the city of Port Moody. I'd like to introduce to you Janice Cotter, who is our gallery manager, and she's the one that orchestrates all of these exhibits.
This evening, we are so fortunate to have three incredibly different exhibitions. There's pretty much nothing in common between them. First of all, I would like to talk to you about the exhibition in our Suncor Gallery, Panorama Unfolding. It is by Enda Bardell. She's a Vancouver artist, and her fascination with the many facets of the sky were the inspiration for this series of watercolors, capturing transformations from clear cobalt blue to turbulent masses of dark grays and the incredible blaze of color in the evening. I'd like to let Enda talk to you for a moment. Enda.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Janice, and thank you for Port Moody Arts Centre for the invitation to show my skies here. I'm passionate about skies. They're constantly changing, and watercolor was made for sky painting, or skies were made for watercolor painting.
If you are a watercolor enthusiast or want to learn, quite often you'll find that Enda does do workshops here, so keep your eyes open for her workshops. They're incredible and they book up quickly. For our next exhibition in the and Kitchen Gallery, we have a very interesting collaboration between two old school friends who reconnected recently and discovered that they had this amazing symbiotic relationship and created a very incredible collection of paintings and a floral installation. It's something different than we've ever had, and I'd like to welcome for the Living Palette, Kimberly Blackstock and Brenna Kwan.
Despite that it looks like I want a lot of attention, I don't really like talking in front of people. But I want to say thank you to everybody that's come out. I've had such a great time the last 4 months creating this with Brenna. We've been working really hard, and really we just want to share it with you. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, obviously Kimberly's paintings are such an inspiration for me as a floral artist, with color and textures and everything. So this was a wonderful opportunity for me to really exercise that creativity and use materials in ways that are just really fun. I think you'll notice a lot of it's foraged materials and naturals, and that's what I enjoy working with. As a great challenge, and hopefully they tell a story.
And for our third show of this series in the Canadian Pacific Gallery, we have an incredible group show, and it is Celebration in Clay. The Tri-City Potters are marking their 10th anniversary, and they especially timed this show to coincide with the Clay Symposium, the Canadian Clay Symposium at Shadbolt Centre on March 18th. So all of the galleries, they try and get as many of them as possible to have local artists, ceramic artists exhibiting their work, so that people attending this symposium can come and see the inspirations that are in our neighborhoods. The president of the Tri-City Potters is June McDonald, and I'd like to invite her up.
Well, it's really nice to see so many people come to see what we do. I know that others came to look at the other two galleries, but it's great to see you all here. Thank you all for coming. From time to time throughout our 10 years, we've challenged our members with make this, make it as something or other, and then we usually have a small show about what is made, such as jugs one time, or vases, or bowls, or things like that. This time we challenged them with make the very best work you can for a show. And it's extremely eclectic. There's such a variety, just as big a variety as there are people in our group. And I'm really pleased that so many of you entered, and I think it's fantastic that we actually put Janice to a lot of work. And I'd like to thank very much Kay and Brigida and Carlene and Christine, all of them who worked very, very hard in organizing it while I went off and had a holiday. And I also would like to thank all of the members for participating. And enjoy.
I think there's such incredible work here, and they filled the space. They also challenged their members to create the collaborative piece that you see on the wall here, the Tree of Life. So many of them created different things, from leaves and animals and fish to create this incredibly beautiful Tree of Life wall mural. I rushed right into the exhibitions and totally forgot to thank our volunteers, because we really couldn't do what we do without all the amazing people that help us and support us by volunteering at the Arts Center. Each exhibition, there are people helping with the installation and with the reception. And this time with the installation, I had help from Ahmad Reza, Sophia Song, along with Gay Mitchell, with the installation for a good portion of it. And Gay is also a member of the Tri-City Potters. And there were so many Tri-City Potters members that were here helping as well. Christina Eastlick, Linda Lebrun, and special thanks to Kay Bonathan and Brigida Schneider for doing the installation of the Tree of Life on the wall over there. For our reception, we have Nina Davidoff, William Lett, and Rowena List, and Erica helping with the food. I'm sure I forgot Erica's last name. And the goodies, and all the artists have bought some amazing goodies. And Leah Scott, who is one of our lifetime members, is helping.
Hello, I am Councillor Laura DuPont here today for Tri-Cities Community Television. We're talking to various people in the community about Riverview. Today we're speaking with James Bobick, who is going to speak to us a bit about the Arboretum and the trees and the therapeutic nature of Riverview. How are you today, James?
Very well, Laura. Thank you very much.
Good. So I'm just wondering if you can tell us a bit about the Arboretum that is at Riverview.
Yeah, well, what we have at Riverview is really a first-class, world-class arboretum. It dates back to the 1911 when the botanist by the name of John Davidson actually was the first provincial botanist for British Columbia, who began to basically plant this diverse collection of trees from all around the temperate areas of the world.
I understand that some of the trees in and around the Parliament buildings and government buildings throughout the province are originally from that garden that came to Riverview as well. Can you speak to a bit about that?
Yeah, there's a great history behind it. Back in the day, it wasn't just a botanical garden. In fact, they had a nursery on site. They grew their own vegetables. There was a huge production going on there, and you're right, many of the trees that they grew in the local nurseries there were actually provided all around, not just Lower Mainland, but all throughout BC and Victoria and the Parliament buildings.
Was there not quite a bit of food production on Colony Farm Park, and probably a lot of fruit trees, I would imagine, at Riverview? Can you speak to that aspect of it?
Well, when the garden was first designed, it wasn't just designed for, of course it was there for peace and serenity and to provide relaxation for the patients, but it was also to provide the patients with an opportunity to work and actually connect with nature. And by doing that, patients were involved in all aspects of farming, of agriculture, raising the fruit, canning the vegetables and fruits as well. And that was, so it's interesting because we talk today about the 100-mile diet and how important that is, but yet, they had a 1-mile diet. It was very self-sufficient.
So you've painted a good picture of what Riverview used to be like. Can you tell us a bit about what it's like now?
Well, of course, 100 years since those original trees were first planted, the collection still exists today. And it's a magnificent collection. And as I was saying, there's trees from all around the temperate parts of the world. And some of these trees measure 16 feet around. So this isn't just any collection of trees. This is truly a world-class arboretum.
Do you have a sense of how many trees are on site and maybe the average age of them? Can you speak to that?
Well, a rough assessment would be about 1,800 mature trees. Now, they're not all ornamental trees. Some of them are from the natural areas that do exist on the Riverview land. But they, of course, range in age from 60, 70, 80 years to over 100 years now.
So some beautiful big old trees. There's not a lot of those left in Greater Vancouver, Metro Vancouver, is there?
Well, when you think that, we're a fairly young country and just 150 years old, when you have trees in a collection that are over 100 years old, I think it really is worth keeping and maintaining.
If Riverview was retained in its entirety the way it stands now, what do you think are the opportunities for the Arboretum moving into the future in terms of the therapeutic effect that it has?
Yeah, well, our arboretums, of course, serve, 3 different purposes, really. Education is one of the purposes, as well as preservation. Of course, areas where, let's say, a tree species is threatened in its native environment due to overforesting or deforestation, right. They serve as a seed bank, a genetic seed bank, to replace some of those trees that in the future. As far as how it ties in with mental wellness, I think we intuitively understand that how nature affects our well-being. A simple walk through the forest or looking at a garden, a beautiful garden, can relax you and de-stress you. And I think there's a great opportunity here for Riverview to play an important role in horticultural therapy, for example, and in many sorts of ways, whether it be through meditation gardens on the site. All these things can really help with mental illness.
I understand what you're talking about. I often walk my dog around Riverview, and being in the space with those big, beautiful trees, it's something, I don't know what happens to you physically, but it does sort of release stress and lower your blood pressure and make you feel relaxed. It's a powerful thing to feel the effect of natural spaces like that. Have you felt that yourself? Do you know other people who have had that feeling?
Oh, absolutely. As a gardener by trade, it's one of the things that really pulled me into the whole industry is just how therapeutic it can be and how relaxing it can be. You know, and I think it's worth noting that, you know, there's clinical physicians now, psychiatrists, are actually prescribing time to be spent in nature as a therapy, as a tool to heal people. And when you think of combining mental illness issues and reopening that hospital, we've got the perfect opportunity to incorporate nature into that scheme.
I understand Japan has, some of the companies in Japan send their employees out for forest bathing as a therapeutic effect to make them more productive. That's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I think some of the Eastern cultures are a little bit ahead of us in that game, but I think more and more it's becoming apparent that nature is not, being in a natural setting is actually vital to both the physical and mental well-being.
Well, thank you very much, James, for your time today, and thanks for talking about trees with us.
Thanks very much, Laura. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. This is Councillor Laura Dupont speaking for Tri-Cities Community Television, hearing the voices of the community talk about Riverview.
Good job, buddy. Keep your hands up, bro. Good job. Okay, ready? My turn. Okay, your turn. Good job. Hands up.
Welcome to Tri-Cities Television. Today I'm talking to Nancy Furness, and we're going to discuss Riverview. Nancy, can you tell me a little bit about who is the Coalition for a Healthy Riverview?
Sure. Thanks very much for the opportunity to talk about the Coalition for a Healthy Riverview. We're a community-based group. We're grassroots, nonpartisan, and we're made up of a group of healthcare professionals, people who are concerned about the environment, heritage and arts, as well as a number of individuals in the community who are coming together to speak on behalf of protecting the Riverview lands.
I understand you've got a bit of traction on social media. Can you speak to that?
Sure can. We do have a few things going on social media. We have a Facebook group, and we also have an email address that we're hoping if people want to get in touch with us, they can certainly contact us via email. Our email address is riverview.chr@gmail.com. And we also have an online petition. It's a change.org petition. And right now we've got well over 2,000 signatures. And what these signatures are standing for is in support of protecting the Riverview lands, keeping them in public hands as a public access. We're saying no to market housing on the Riverview lands. We want to see it restored and reopened as a center of excellence for mental health. And we want to see it set within the existing world-class arboretum, as well as the surrounding green space. So we're trying to get word out, spread word, because right now we feel that we're not seeing a lot of information on Riverview. We're not seeing what the vision is. Things seem to have gotten very quiet around the future of Riverview. So we're asking people if they share the vision that we do in seeing it reopened as a center of excellence, modernized center of excellence for mental health, that they stand together with us so that we can come forward with a single powerful voice and send a really strong message to all of our elected representatives that we don't want to see market housing on the Riverview lands. We do want to see a center of excellence. We would like to see integrated mental health facilities on there. And we also would like to stress the importance of keeping it within that healing space with the arboretum, the extensive green space and land around it as well.
Well, thanks, Nancy. You've given me a pretty good sense of what your group's about, and it sounds like you've got lots of folks interested in it. You keep up the good work, and we hope to hear more down the road. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And again, please do contact us via email because we do have a number of upcoming events, and we would love to hear from the community.
Thanks for the discussion today, Nancy. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I'm Councillor Laura DuPont here for Tri-Cities Community Television, speaking to some folks in the community about Riverview.
Hi, it's Kathy Chene here with Catching Up with Kathy and Tri-Cities Community TV. We're at the Share Gala, Through the Looking Glass. And tonight, as you can see, I've got a lovely, lovely woman with me here tonight having tea.
Time for tea.
Time for tea. This is a very important annual event for Share. They're here to raise money for the entire Tri-Cities. We're going to be talking to the executive director and a few other people and just get a good vibe about what's going on here tonight at the Molson Canadian Theatre right in Coquitlam. Tell me a little bit about how's the night going to go tonight?
Well, as you can see, there are food stations all over the place and people will help themselves to the food, then head for their tables and mingle and have fun, and there will be a lot of characters around doing fun things that I won't share with you so that you can be surprised.
So Sylvia, tell me, what's the reason that we're all here tonight?
The reason is people are here to support Share and the fabulous services that we provide our community. And the whole Tri-Cities benefits from this gala. We raise the funds in order to be able to support our families and their children in their time of need. And here we are tonight having a fabulous time, but it is to make the community stronger.
This is all about the bagel tonight. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. And what are you cooking?
So tonight we're serving up the Montreal smoked meat, and we're serving it on our rosemary rock salt bagel, the signature.
That's fantastic.
Top it with a little pickle.
And have you been here before?
No, we haven't. It's our first time, but we're super excited.
We totally welcome newcomers to the Tri-Cities. I just want you to know, Lindsay. Well, thanks so much for your time, and good luck tonight. I know there's a judging contest going on, and I hope you win.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Fantastic. And what are you going to be cooking tonight?
We're doing our butter chicken, but 405 style.
405 style butter chicken. I'm going to get a sampling of that, and then I know there'll be a judge's plate later on, and everyone gets to vote tonight, right?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct.
And they're savory and they're sweet.
Yes, savory and sweet. That's definite.
So we're at the savory side right now, and we're here at the Molson Canadian Theatre for Share's annual fundraiser and gala. They're here to raise $125,000 tonight. Let's hope they do it. Thanks so much, Corey. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, now I want to catch up with Councillor Mike Forrest. So I see you at a lot of events. Is this just another event for you that you're attending? Do you even know where you are?
I know exactly where I am. And I've been to this event for many, many, many times in recent years and past. It started out being the Taste of the Tri-Cities years ago. And we come because we have new restaurants. We can come and try these things out and support Share services in our community, which does massive work here that a lot of people don't know anything about, but does things behind the scenes for all kinds of people in Port Coquitlam.
That's right. You can come to this event and eat. You can come to this event and bid on silent auction, live auction.
Yes, you can do all of those.
And of course, hi.
And then Jillian can come and be on camera.
Yes, and photobomb us. Hello. Well, that's what happens. You really never know what happens when you're catching up with Kathy, right, Mike?
Absolutely. You never know.
Hi, my name's James. I'm a member of the Coalition for a Healthy Riverview. It was back in 1908 that approval was given for a brand new mental health facility to be built on 244 acres of land that we know as the Riverview lands. But this wasn't to be just any mental health facility. The idea was to provide a park-like setting with beautiful gardens, large shade trees, stroll gardens, and in fact to involve the patients, to connect them with nature, to actually have them cultivate the soil, to plant the seeds, to harvest the vegetables and the fruits and literally enjoy the fruits of their labor. These early visionaries understood that providing beautiful, natural surroundings was vital to both the mental and physical well-being of their patients. 100 years on, we find ourselves in one of the worst mental health crisis situations in our history. The trees, of course, are still with us, and they stand as silent sentinels, bearing witness to a government that has virtually turned its back on its most vulnerable citizens. To sell off the Riverview lands for market housing is not the answer. We need to revitalize the Riverview grounds, to bring it back to its original purpose, and that is to provide a center of excellence for mental health and a place for people to heal. But we need your help. Please go to change.org and sign our online petition, and contact your MLA. Let them know that we need to save Riverview now.
Hi, I'm Councillor Laura Dupont, here today in Lee Square on behalf of Tri-Cities Community Television to talk about Riverview. As someone on council in the city, I'm really interested to hear from people who care about what's happening in Metro Vancouver and the province and the issues that we have around mental health, the opioid crisis, and it gives us a good opportunity to talk about Riverview. So today I'm here with Christina Gower, who has a background in psychiatric nursing, and she's going to help us understand a bit more about why the community cares about Riverview. How are you today?
I'm well, thanks.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about Riverview and why you're interested in it at this time?
Certainly. I'm a registered psychiatric nurse working with mental health and addictions populations, and we've seen throughout the healthcare system how many gaps there are and how many resources that we're short on, and I'd really like to see the Riverview site dedicated to improving services for our people.
Is the opioid crisis and the mental health situation in Metro Vancouver as bad as the media makes it out to be?
I think it's worse, only because you only see bits and pieces of the media that are perhaps sensational. It's a daily occurrence. We could tell stories every single day, but it would overwhelm the public, I think, to know everything that was going on.
As a psychiatric nurse, do you have any sense of why there is so many people who have addiction issues?
Many reasons. I think that our society is becoming more and more difficult to cope in. As we all know, we're all struggling financially to live here, and our education systems have been, a little bit gutted, I guess you could say. So people grow up, without learning all the skills they need, and we have the homelessness crisis adding to that as well. So back in the day when Riverview was still going, it addressed some of those things, but I think we all noticed a steep decline in mental health and addictions as soon as it closed in 2012.
Do you think deinstitutionalization has worked very well for us?
I don't think so, and it's also not the feeling across many places where deinstitutionalization has occurred is that it does not work.
So you think there's many people that are left without support that they need?
Yes, but if we reinstate something like that, it would be a different model. It would be with much more independence and autonomy than the old institutional model as well. I just need to point that out.
So what do you think would be Riverview's role in taking into that situation that you're speaking of? What could be Riverview's role in the future for those people?
So many roles for Riverview. We've talked about there was a fellow by the name of Dr. John Higginbottom. He is going to be speaking for our coalition at an event coming up at Douglas College. His vision is something that we appreciate going forward with, and that is to build a healthcare campus on site. With the exception, it wouldn't be complete healthcare, it would be mental health focus with every profession, interdisciplinary profession that's involved with that would all be trained there. We would have subsidized independent living housing for persons on disabilities. We would have treatment, specialized opioid treatment especially. Chronic pain treatment is also another way to prevent opioid addiction. Certainly we would just address every single issue and gap that is in our system as it is today.
There is so much need in our community. Hopefully there is a role for Riverview, and we appreciate you giving us some time today. Thank you.
Sure.
This community program would not be possible without the financial support of our corporate sponsors and community members. Tri-Cities Community Television would like to especially thank the cities of Port Moody, Coquitlam, and Port Coquitlam for their belief and support of community television. If you wish to be part of our volunteer team, become a sponsor, or make a financial contribution to support community programming, please feel free to contact us at the following location.